Gossip Talk Show's family is Namsa here at Gossip Talk Show's Find Your Own Voice, Lead from Within. I'm with Carol Ann today. How are you, Carol Ann?
I'm very well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm good, thank you, thank you.
Good.
So our topic today is how to nourish and encourage activities, creativity. And nourishing and encouraging creativity involves creating an environment that fosters imaginative thinking and exploration and the willingness to take a risk. So today we're going to share some tips and strategies. And also, Carol Ann, and I'm sure the audience will love to know why you choose this topic and the story behind the topic.
Well, again, it's sort of, I get to Monday and it's like, okay, what topic can we talk about tomorrow? And I just put on Google, sort of topics to talk about on a talk show, and a whole lot of different things came up that didn't grab me. And then something about the importance of creativity. What gets you feeling creative? And what do you feel when do you feel the most creative? What does creativity mean to you? Those sort of questions were there, and it just drew my attention. So I thought, yeah, why not? Let's talk about how can we nourish and encourage creativity? Because what is creativity? And I think a lot of people think of it as just being artistic or being musical or that sort of thing, whereas actually creativity is a lot more than that. And everybody has that potential to be creative. So that's where it came from. And actually looking at it for myself, it's helped me to realize that I'm more creative than I think, because it is quite simple. It's something that someone said. It's being creative is about presenting a piece of art, a design, an idea, or an innovation in a way that is filtered through your own unique perspective, talent, and skills. So it's putting your own spin on something. And I realized that I was doing that when I first started training in brain gym, educational kinesiology, training in NLP, Brandon Bay's The Journey. And I would just create my own spin on it. I use them and weave everything together. And I realized that's being creative. I hadn't thought about it before, but it was just a natural thing that I found myself doing. So how can we nourish this and encourage it? And I think one thing to start with is realize that you have creativity within you. You have the ability to be creative. So that's one thing to start with. What about yourself? I just need to plug my laptop in. The battery's gone down a bit. So what about you, Namsa?
Muted, Eman. I actually agree with you, Carol Ann. And there's something also I found out yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Guess what?
What?
I found out that we have, and my pastor said, these people that we call them super, super, super intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
They only use 2%, like 3% of their abilities. And he said we have 1,000 abilities. And he was saying some people, when they were like, some people, when they say they are talented, they look at one thing that they are talented in on, they focus on that, but people don't know that we have 1,000 abilities, talent. It was like, like when you see these people that they go and they're on the news, like they're genius, they just use 3% of that genius. They don't, because even then they don't know. So I was like, he's actually right.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some things that he says actually, because when you talk about creativity, Carol, and how do we explore the creativity? And he said he did something with this girl. this girl came in and she was saying, I'm bored and I'm miserable. My life is so miserable. And he said, I looked at this girl and I said, are you being serious? And this girl, because he knew exactly God was speaking to him, what kind of a person she is. And for her, she thought she was an ordinary person. And he said, when God has helped him, I said, you need to help him to just pick the piece of me, a little bit of me, what she's capable of. So he said he gave her something, a prayer to go and pray. And this girl opened the ram. You know, every day I always talk about opening ram.
Mm-hmm.
This girl, she thought she had no voice, Carol Ann. So she got creative and she did not work on the vocal, but she believed. She just kept opening the rams and praying. And this girl, apparently, one day she opens her mouth and she sings like an angel. And he was like sharing the story and saying, we have 1,000 abilities. But I believe him. You remember telling you that I could dance?
Mm-hmm.
But then now I'm starting to dance different ways because people were making fun of me, like taking a break from God and do this and do this. But yesterday I believed him when he said, we have, it says people have abilities that they don't know.
Yeah.
But then because they put that wall, like the creativity, we don't really get creative because we didn't explore. We actually take away we don't allow ourselves to the freedom to explore
Mm-hmm.
and to get ideas in so many ways. But if we do give ourselves that autonomy to actually foster a sense of ownership in everything we do and have the courage of creative thinking, then
Mm-hmm.
we can do. I believe in him because I don't know anything about SEO. But when I opened RAMs, I ended up doing SEO. Now I know how to do SEO. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I had Abdul because Abdul does marketing, and he was so busy. I just went on the website as well the other day. I did the SEO and I was like, I'm loving this. Honestly, I was just sitting here, could have been watching TV, and I was like, let me get creative. So I went to the website and I was busy doing SEO. I went up to 30. You have to do like 40 something. So I went up to 30 something, 36. And that is creative. This is something that I've never went to school. I'd never went to school marketing to train. I
Mm-hmm.
just did it because I'm just creative thinking and trusting and asking God, show me my abilities, show me my creativity. What am I creative in? Do I really just sing and talk and speak? What else can I sing?
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's good. I'm just going to there's a book because what your pastor is saying is right, but actually there's a quote
yeah.
that says it's way more than 1,000 abilities. Let me just get this
Oh, yeah,
quote.
he said it as well, Carol
Yeah.
Ann.
Hang on a second. I'm just going to get you carry on talking. Won't be a minute.
No, yeah, I'm just talking to the audience. Don't worry, Carol Ann. Yes, he was saying, so yeah, guys, I'm going to try this creativity. I'm gonna try it, and guys, I'm gonna let you know how I go with it. And also, what made me believe also Carol Ann, what made me believe also when Lucifer left with his agent, he said you could actually build Facebook. But he was taking me. I thought he was actually making fun of me. He said you could actually build a Facebook, and he just left.
Uh-huh.
Like I thought he was actually, but when my pastor, because he was trying to stop me doing my abilities, but when I had questions, why is he stopping me using my abilities? And he said, by the way, you could actually yourself, not anybody else, you could actually build something like Facebook if you wanted to. And then he just left, and he was like, you're mad anyway, you're bonkers. And then he just left. But when my pastor said that yesterday, he said the people that we call genius, they don't really use their abilities. They use a little bit of 3%, but it could be more that we have more than 1,000 abilities, like what you're saying. But he said definitely you can do it. He said this girl, she walked in and they said I listened to her. She was talking, I listened and I listened, and Gary was laughing as well. And Gary said, give her this prayer to open something so she can see who she is. And he said to this girl, I've seen her. I think that was 2 months ago in one of his programs. She has an amazing, those people that when they sing, they don't sound like anybody else, and you can't really forget their voice. So she sounds like that.
Wow.
So I was like, when he was speaking, what's the quote, Carol Anne? Let's listen to the quote.
Okay, so it's I found it in this book, The Science of Getting Rich.
Okay, I've got that one.
By Wallace D. Wattles. This one's got a special introduction by Bob Proctor.
Yeah.
But the quote that I read, and I've had this book for many years now. It's by Steve Bow, and it says, God's gift to you is more talent and ability than you could possibly use in your lifetime.
Yep.
Your gift to God is to develop as much of that talent and ability as you can in this lifetime. And when I read that, it was like, whoa,
Yeah, he said that last night. Yeah, he said exactly last night.
Exactly the same thing. We've got so much ability, but and I hadn't actually thought about somebody who is really skilled in something and they hone that skill and they shine in that skill. They are only using a fraction of their ability.
Yeah.
It's because they focused on that one skill. And there's nothing wrong in that. It's just being aware that we have more than that within us.
Yeah.
And it's about, as you're saying, it's about exploring new avenues. Anything you think you can't do, well, go and have a go at it. It was like, must be about 18 years ago now, I decided I would have a go at doing an English language A-level, something I thought was totally beyond me. And it took all the skills that I trained in at that, then, but I did it. It challenged me, and I rose and I found different ways of dealing with it. When I got stuck, I would do a brain gym balance or a touch for health balance or do some NLP on myself, to break through the blocks and the stress, and just so it became easier. And I would also use the questioning techniques that I'd learned in NLP to get to the root of my understanding, what I wasn't understanding with the lecturer each week. If I didn't understand what she was saying, I would question and question and question until I got an understanding. So that's being creative. It's finding a solution that helps you to do something you haven't done before. Bring something into the world that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
And it is, so how you can actually nourish that and encourage it is exploring new avenues.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as, to sort of break through those new avenues is like your route to work. You do the same route every day, try a different route, go down a different avenue, and different way of doing it. And if you find yourself going, oh, no, can't do that, that's where you're then stifling any creativity, because you don't know who you might meet on that new route or what you might see that might spark something that maybe you've been struggling on at work, an idea that you can't get to grips with, or a conversation with somebody or somebody that you're not really getting on with, because it can happen in relationships. You just get a new spark of an idea. You feel different, so that person shows up differently. So it's all this is what creativity is about. And this is one way that you can bring it about and nourish it and encourage it. Do something new, take a new avenue, explore it, be courageous. So, and I'm doing, there's two clubs that I've now joined sort of locally, because I've wanted to get to know people locally, which I haven't, done. I've been here quite a few years now, and always had this, a lot of my friends there, they live at a distance from me. So we always end up meeting in the city, because it's like sort of the best place to get to, but that's an hour's journey. And so I found a chess club and a mahjong club, because I enjoy mahjong. I don't enjoy chess, but I know how to play it. But I thought, hang on, there's something here that I've not enjoyed. Let's go to it. Let's see who I might meet and what I can actually have a breakthrough in. And yeah, I nearly didn't go on Saturday, but I did. And I'm glad I did, because I spent the whole time playing with the person that runs the club, and he's playing with me, but he's also helping some of these lads next to him, these young lads there, these children that are playing as well. And there's me, my brain is going, oh, he's bored. But actually, he runs the club. And I just let myself play and learn and ask him, for advice as well. We must have taken about a couple of hours on this game. But I learned a lot from it. And I felt more empowered with the game, and thought, well, I'm not as, what's the word? I'm not as bad in it as I thought I might be, because there was one move I made and he went, oh, shouldn't have underestimated you, because you're not as an experienced player as myself. Just through one move that I made, he went, oh, but yeah, just getting out, exploring that, something different, something that you feel a bit stuck in. And it's helping me to give me ideas around my business as well. So there's the creativity coming in. Yeah. So what things can you pick up on? What activities could you be doing that you haven't done in a while? Maybe that could help. You're muted. So that would be good.
Myself.
Unmute yourself, yeah.
Why does it looks like do we have internet here? Is it the video working normal? Yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to creativity, Carol Anna, for me, I do activities that I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I like to try new things. But since listening to my pastor, I think I'm gonna go. I'm already mad anyway. They've already called me mad anyway, but I'm not mad. I just have this thing where I like to do things. If things are presented to me, I like to do them. I like to try new things. Sometimes I know, even though sometimes I fear, but I know deep down in my heart that I have to do. I have to go for it and see, because I never know if I don't do it. There is something within me that will be like, what if?
Yeah.
Let me do it. But as from today, I realize that there's some things, really weird things that I do. I don't think I'm doing it on my own. So I think God is always there helping me, because with the things that I do, it's like when he was talking, it made me realize, because my friend, she was like, it was her wedding, and she said, no, sir, you need to take a break from God. God is always there. And I was like, why do I need to take a break? I love him. So I need to know what he is all about. And I need to see where my life is going. I'm enjoying it. It's not affecting me.
Yeah.
And I remember that night, and I was dancing, and I was like, I'm actually using my body as an instrument, which I've never done this before. And I was like, and then everyone goes and say, Nomsa, you can dance, girl. And I was like, yes, I can dance, but I don't think I can dance this way. I don't know what's going on, but whatever is going on, I don't know where I got these abilities, but whatever. But it was God giving her that as a gift to show that you follow me, this is who you become. And all those things. And there are some things that I just cry. There are some things like, you know, like with YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I look at things. When I look at things, there'll be this voice in my mind that says, stand still. So I will stand still, but people will be saying negative things about, for me, I make a decision that I'm standing still. And when I stand still is where it's either I get creative out of that because I'm listening, I'm saying, I can't do it on my own, but I need help. And it's like inside of me, I'm like, I want to do this, but what if I could do it? And then I step back. When I step back, that's when my ability comes out. But I don't want to mislead you guys. I fast as well at the same time.
Mm.
And when I fast at the same time, I have this cry when I'm getting creative. If I really, really want to get creative, because with the SEO, I kept getting people like, do the SEO, I'll give them the password, they go on YouTube, not doing things. And then I was like, God, what if I can actually do it? That would be really amazing, would it, God? I say it out loud. And then I step back. In my heart is like, what if there's this thing like the desire to do something, and then I end up doing it, whatever I'm doing. And I've seen it with my children as well, the abilities, and I tell them that I speak to them and say, you can do what you want to do, because I saw what my dad did to me. My dad used to think that I can do anything, like what the pastor was saying yesterday.
Mm.
My dad used to say, you can get things out of you and do them if you are willing to do it. And then I grow up with having that idea of I can do this, I can do this. And sometimes people look at me and say, Nomsa, you've gone mad. And I'm like, no, I can do it. And then I sit back, I let them criticize, and then I sit back. And when I sit back, how I get creative is I don't just get creative by like talking. I get the desire in my head. I write things down. No, I don't write things down. I'm lying. I speak. I speak it out loud. God, what if I could do this?
Mm.
And then I leave it. And sometimes I'll be sitting in front of my computer, and the angel of God will walk in and say, you want to do it? Get on with it then. Take this, take that, and I will do it. But it's a memory that I keep with me. It's not something that the angel comes in and guides me through it, and then I don't have those abilities. It's the abilities that I hold on to them. Like the SEO, I was like, I wish I can do this. With the dance, I never wished for it. I never asked for it. My friends were making fun of me, and I ended up doing it. And there's so many things that I do it, like with all these things that I'm doing, Kero Anne, that I was telling you. That's
Mm.
how I end up getting to the next level with my life. I don't give up. You know, when they fall,
Mm.
the next thing people say to them is, I can't. I don't think I can do this. Me, it's like, God,
Yeah.
what if I can do it? What if?
That's right.
What if I can do this? What if Ngozi Talk Show can be something big one day? What if?
Yeah.
And then I sit back. You know, sometimes like people, they manifest, they do this, they do this. For me, is what if? God, what if? But the desire has to be stay in your mind. It has to be that creativity. If you really, really want to desire something, it has to be in your mind, but not in a desperate way. It's
No.
like, the joy, when you want something, but you're smiling about it. And then at the same time, you are like, but I don't think I can do this. It's actually Lucifer who made me realize that actually people, they are not who they think they are. It's him, because when he kept torturing me, in a way that he will stop me when I'm doing something. He will try to stop me, and then I'll be like, why is he stopping me? I can't do it anyway. And then I realized one day, I was like, actually, he's stopping me because he knows I can. So that's when I realized actually
Mm,
the abilities that we have, our creativity is not what we think we are. We are
that's
more
it.
than that.
Mm,
I don't know about you, Carol Ann, but for me, I think we are more than that.
oh, absolutely. And I think, what you're saying, that other question is, or request that you put out there is, show me the way.
Yeah, it's like,
Show me the
what
way. Show
if,
me
God?
what is it I need to do? What is it I haven't done yet that, or what is it I've been putting off that you keep nudging me to do? Just, it's this, just show me. And actually, just as you say, sitting back, because
Yeah,
actually there's a quote here by Kim John Payne. Rest nurtures creativity, which nurtures activity. Activity nurtures rest, which sustains creativity. Each draws and contributes to the other. So sitting back, resting, nurtures that creativity, which then your creativity, your creative juices start flowing, and it's like, all right, up you get, because you get motivated. That's where your action then comes into play. And but it is this constant cycle, and a lot of people, they get so stressed because they've got to keep doing, and that actually stops creativity, because you're literally shutting down a part of your brain, and you need to have access to the whole of your brain, not just part of it. And so it's actually making sure that you activate all of it. It all lights up. You can move forward freely, but move backwards. You can move side to side with communication. You can move up and down through the emotions. You can get emotional about something and then drop down again. But it's being able to move freely through each aspect, which then sparks the creativity. And one simple activity that you can do is go for a walk. Go for a walk. And if you can't get out in that moment, go and walk around where where you're living. There is a brain gym activity, which is a great one to do, which is called cross crawl. And you literally just bring up one knee, take the opposite hand over to that knee, and then do the opposite hand to knee on the other side. And just keep doing that. And you can do that while you're sitting down, because I'm doing that right now. Just lift up a knee and take the other hand over to it, because that then brings both sides of your body and brain together, working together. If it feels a bit uncomfortable, just do the same side like a puppet. So you lift up one knee in the same hand. So you're just being a puppet, each side of your body. Go, okay, I've got a right side here. I've got a left side here. Left arm, a left leg, whole my body. And now I've got the other side. And then bring them together and do crossover, opposite hand to knee. And you can do that standing or sitting like I'm doing now. Just lifting up one knee and taking the opposite hand over to it. Lifting up one knee, take the opposite hand over to it to meet it. So it's great. Okay, let's work together. Let's bring some creativeness into this. And, it's if you get stuck, so you're stuck with your writing, do a bit of cross crawl, go for a walk, go and do some movement, because it's movement that actually creates the nerve nets, gets your brain moving and sparking, So there's a book called Smart Moves by Carla Hannaford, why learning is not all in your brain. And she explains why how movement is so important, and actually how movement creates those nerve nets that gets that's a way of getting your creativity sparking as well. So yeah, movement, go move. I used to go swimming a lot, and it's something I'm now wanting to get back into doing, which I can now do because the pressure sore that I had on my bottom through being in hospital has now healed up. It's like, God, how many months has that been? It's like, yes. So I can now go swimming. So I'm looking forward to going swimming again, get that body movement. Because I used to find when I was swimming, the ideas were flowing. You know, it's sparking little ideas. I think, oh, you know, it's really, it's great. So any movement, if you've got a bike, go ride a bike. And I keep thinking, I wouldn't mind a bike again, just go riding, but just to get out and about, but get some movement in there. So certainly, movement is important to get that those creative juices flowing, different ideas sparking, you know. And something you were saying about people believing in you, your dad believed in you. It is important to have people that believe in you, that encourage you. And it's also important to encourage yourself.
Yeah.
So if there are people around you that are not encouraging you or believing in you, what part of you isn't believing in you? And just work on that. Just sit and do some meditation and put up a prayer to be able to believe in yourself, to be shown the way so that, you know, you can get more belief. But then also go out there, find new people that are like-minded.
I
And
can
that can
support
also
you.
believe in you, that can support you, definitely. So there's lots of different groups that I belong to. And it's always, you know, everybody's building everyone else up. It's not just a case of saying, oh, that's great for the sake of saying it's great. They will offer criticism, but it's constructive. It enables you to grow. And it's being able to listen to somebody, their idea, their way of view and looking at it, which will help you to think in a different way, which again is creating that creativity. Because creativity is about creating something new, a new idea, a new way of doing something. Okay, so people, you know, believing in yourself and having people believe in you is very important. Yeah, so creativity is intelligence having fun. I love that quote by Albert Einstein. Creativity is intelligence having fun. So it's all about having fun and enjoyment.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it gets a bit stagnant, doesn't it? And a little bit monotonous. And a word that I hate to use, but I will use it. Like, okay, boring. That's what a lot of people say, boring, which is when I'll say, well, hang on a second. That to me doesn't really say anything. It just means you shut off to what you're doing. So what other words could you use? So for me, when I get in that zone, it's like, okay, this is getting monotonous. This is getting repetitive. This is stagnant. There's no movement here. Can you see how all of a sudden it gives you a way to be creative and get out of that boredom rather than being stuck in it? Because that's where that word holds you. So again, it's getting creative with words, your language. What language holds you in that space? And what language gives you an avenue to explore to move out of it? So language and communication, very important in creativity. Any other ideas how people can nourish and encourage creativity?
Like what you're saying, Carol Ann, encourage curiosity, cultivating a culture that values curiosity and continuous learning. So you have to learn it. If you're somebody who is like me, who cannot do what I do, guys, me, I don't. I read books to read books, and like if I'm reading a book like a habit, I'm creating a habit. And like I said, if I need something from God to teach me something, I don't read no books. Like with the SEO, if I say I read a book about SEO, I'll be lying to you. I did not read no books. I want angels to come and teach me. Teach me. It means that ability is already there. I can do it because we are here on earth. There is paradigm, there's laws of galaxies, laws of talent. So you have to stay focused. You can't be all over. You stand still and stay focused and cultivate. If you want to learn something, you learn something, but stay focused. There are some people that this week they're doing that thing. And then next week, there's lots of coaches that I've met when I started 2009, 2017, when I started my business. I met them, but since I've known those coaches, they're doing 2011 things. The next time I see them, they're doing something else. And then when I meet them, they're like, oh, I moved away. You know, me is doing that. I'm no longer doing it anymore. I've realized that I'm creative with this, so I'm doing that. So they're actually picking things and leaving things, and they're everywhere. So you have to stand still. Like myself, I'm a matchmaker. I deal with people. My business is matchmaking, and I speak. I'm here to also talk shows. I sing. So you see, everything goes with me. SEO, something that I need in my business. So it's everything. I don't go round and round and round and round, and I take myself, pull myself everywhere. I stand still. So when you're fostering that learning, make sure that you have the courage to actually believe in your abilities. When I'm saying believe in your abilities, sometimes things may not make sense. It's like, okay, I said to God, I would love to learn to do this SEO myself. And then now there were times where I had to stand still and believe. When the angel of God entered and said, take the mouse. Obviously, I realized after, but it was me taking the mouse. After I realized actually I did not do it myself, I realized that the angel was helping me. But that memory I kept, I did not read a book, but I have the ability wanting to learn. God works with your creativity. He works with your desires. What do you desire? And please get rid of distraction. Get rid of the negativity. You cannot succeed in things that you do if you think about negative things or about yourself or about somebody else. It means declutter your mind and have that desire, even if life it does not make sense. Make it make sense. God will make it make sense to you, even if it does not make sense. You may say, who am I to do this? You may judge yourself. But the abilities that we have as people, I've seen it with my children. I tell my children, you can't do this. Sometimes they look at me, they're like, Mommy, you've gone mad. And I'm like, no, I've not gone mad. I went to school the other day and one of the teachers goes, actually, Kayla, she's really good in French. And I was like, no one teaches a French, but thank you, God. Because I come from my heritage is Nigeria. In Nigeria, they speak French. French is their other language. So I was like, wow, she's gone home. So it was like she's at home. She's with her heritage. Honestly, they say she speaks, she's amazing in French, but nobody teaches a French here. No. It's just me, my mouth, guys. It's my mouth. God, give her the abilities. Give her the abilities. Whatever she's capable of, give her that. If I that's what I say in my prayers. I open realms of the abilities, realms of intelligence to my children. And sometimes I go to the teacher and daddy will be like, we don't do that at home. And I'll be like, prayer is working, God. Because I know that that's what I'm praying when I'm praying to God. That's why I'm praying. Or even when chaos, but before I didn't realize until you, Carol Annie, told me that I actually need to listen to my prayers, what I'm asking. I used to pray. I wouldn't listen. I would listen to my prayers, but I wouldn't actually listen to my words. That's why they say the words that we speak are very, very important. What we say about ourselves is very, very, very important.
Yeah.
If somebody tells you that you are not good enough, you need to cancel that words straight away. You need to wipe it off, because how I was able to survive Lucifer is saying the words that are positive each and every day. And when he challenges me, I would just stand there and I would challenge him. And then he just came. One day he decided to show me who he is. He just showed up. I was sitting. He just showed up and said, I actually like you. I don't like human beings, but I just like you. You're mad. And I was like, okay, you're going to kill me now? And he showed me actually, if he really wanted to do it, he would have done it within a second. But he just left and said, my father is witness, and said, witness, daughter, you're mad. I've tried everything. But it's because I stand still. When somebody says, no, you can't, I say, yes, I can. When somebody says, no, no, sir, you can't, I say, I can. And why you can? Because I have an assignment on earth that I need to do. And a part of that assignment is for me to do the things that people believe that I can't. So I don't know about you, Kiro, and that's what keeps me going each and every single day, to believe. And also the people that are around us, those people is very, very, very important, because sometimes, Carol Ann, you say words, and I use those words. When things get tough, I'll remember your voice. Carol Ann said this. That those words end up helping me. But sometimes I'll hear Claudia's voice. Those words, they end up helping me, or come out, or anybody. It's like Des. When Des started coaching me, there are things that I didn't think I could do it, but he kept saying, you can do this, you can do this. And now I'm realizing that everything that I do, the man never spent any time with me, but it's the words that he was saying, he would say to me. And then I will hold on to those words. So that's why they're saying the words are very, very important, guys. The environment, way who you are surrounded, the people that surround you is very, very, very important. And also the people who you hang out with, the people that we hang out with, we spend time with, is very, very important. It's like here at Ngozi Talk Shows and the other coaches that I hang out with. I hang out with the coaches, and some of them motivates me. Some of them, where life it does not make sense, they tell me that things is gonna be okay, and then I hold on to those words. And or when I'm being creative, I share my creativity with them. They believe, and I believe in myself as well. And all those things is the things that we do every day that helps us to become who we are. And with God, guys, I'm gonna tell you, I've never knew what God can do, but now when this pastor said we have 1,000 abilities, watch this space. Now I want
Great.
those abilities.
Yeah. And you're saying about believing. There is I think it's Einstein that said it. If your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, you will achieve it. And gosh, that was, I don't know how many years ago I saw that, and I wrote it up, and I used to have it in front of me. It's just like that reminder. So it is about, if you can think about it, it's in your head. It's not something that's crazy, but if your heart can believe it as well, you can achieve it. And it is
Yeah.
having that belief in yourself, that in your heart, that knowing, yes, I can. But also, as you say, it's asking for support, it's asking for help, because other people have other ideas. So if you feel a bit stuck with something, go and ask, share it
Yeah.
with other people, and you get their ideas and their way of thinking. And it might, you might go, no, 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 but there might be just one thing that somebody says. And it was at a mastermind event that I went to, and I didn't know what I wanted to ask about. Then I just thought, oh, let me just share about my retreat. I just asked people, what did they think about when they heard about retreats, because a lot of people go on retreats, and I was wanting to run a writing retreat. And this one person, he said, well, when I hear the word retreat, he said, I think about it as retreating, going away, getting out away from it. And I hadn't even thought about that aspect of the word, but it helped me to just add something else into my marketing of my writing retreat. And you just don't know what someone else might say, because he said, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know, I can say anything, this is what I think of. But I said it was perfect. His reply was absolutely perfect, just what I needed to hear, just to spark some creativity, something for me with a different way of thinking about my writing retreat and what I could say about it. So again, speak to people, go to a mastermind, and just share what you're stuck with, or even just share an idea that you're having, and get different ideas, other people's focus on it. Because I remember once going to this mastermind saying, well, I haven't got anything, a query or anything. But it was something that the person that ran it said. And I went, oh, well, I've got this idea. And I just ran this idea past them, what I was thinking of doing. And it was amazing, because I've just got different other people's what they heard from me. It also helped me to see how what I was saying about it landed with with others, and what they came back with. And it was just like, from that point on, I realize it's not about going to a mastermind with a problem or something you're stuck with. It's just sharing an idea,
Sharing. Yeah.
because you'll get other people's perspectives from their thinking, which then helps to generate your own ideas and creativeness. So, there is a mastermind that I support, and I actually help out with, and that's once a month with a company called GTEx, and that's happening this Thursday. So if anybody wants to know anything more, it happens on the second Thursday of the month, and it's a great way. It's online, so anybody can join and come along and get some different perspectives.
Is that with Simone?
With Simone, yeah.
I think
Simone
he has sent me an email. When is your next one?
Mastermind is this Thursday, 6 o'clock. If you,
I think I got an email.
yeah, I'll send you some details if you want to come along. It's 6 till 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's a great place to meet new people, get new ideas, and just share. It's very sort of quick, but in that in that quickness, something moves. Everybody says how much they got from it, and how much all of a sudden they got a spark of an idea that I hadn't thought about, or they've met somebody that they can team up with. It just, you don't know what might come from it. So yeah, they're always the second Thursday of the month.
Is it on Zoom?
Yes, it's through Zoom. So I can help you with the registering on that if you are interested. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think I saw it. I saw it on my Gmail. I like Simone's mastermind. Yeah, I like his mastermind. It's like with the people that we cross path with,
Mm.
They end up helping us with our lives. I think I watched Bob Proctor.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about how you can actually, he was talking about the awards, how you can do this and do this. And the guy, I think this guy was a 16-time award winner or something. And Simone said the same thing. So I tried to play this game. Guess how far I've gone? Guess 12 times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying. I tried to play. I made a decision. I was like, I'm gonna play this game or what they're talking about and see if it works, and it
Mm-hmm.
works. Now, Hope Spring is a 12-time award winning of the year,
Mm-hmm.
and just by taking their advice and their ideas, it's like the people that we cross paths with,
Mm-hmm.
they say something to us.
Yeah.
If we believe it, we implement, and then we get the results that we want to get.
That's right.
So yeah, for me, if you want to get creativity, guys, is you can do the things that you want to do. Is the only problem is you don't have to give up. As long as you create a safe place, you provide yourself with the resources, time for reflection, have time for reflection, promote playfulness, reward your activities, open communication, and seek support with people. Me, I do all those things. And the other thing is I ask God. I fast by doing that. Like now, I'm fasting for 1,000 days.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 years and 9 months. In that 2 years and 9 months, I've made it. I made a choice. I said to God, I do not want to see my friends, anyone that is called them my friends. I don't want them to see them the same. They need to do different things. And I need to be the person. When I'm saying do different things,
Mm-hmm.
it's like when they say they are not creative, they need to be creative. So it's like I'm just praying to God for people around me. Anyone that says Nomsa is my friend, they got to have something to show that God is at work. So God me and God were doing the work. We are doing the work. It's like if
Yeah.
Carol Anne says, "Wow, I'm confused. I'm this with this," I say, God, go and remove that confusion. That is, if she's prepared to remove the confusion, because some people stay in one place, they will refuse to change,
Mm.
but you have to allow the change when the change is presented to you. Or sometimes God uses people to come to you as an angel. They can come and say, by the way, I've got this, I can do this, and you'll be like, oh, okay, take the opportunity. So you have to be somebody who is willing to be creative. It means I'm saying yes to the opportunity, because when you get creative, what's the point getting creative and not using that creativity? Use your imagination and become that person that you want to do. And it's like an artist, to become an artist. Being an artist, they use their imagination, they create their own world that exists only to them in order to get where they need to be. And that's what I do. I say to God, God, there's something that I need to do. But if I tell my spouse that this is what I need to do, he's just gonna say, no, sir, you just gone mad, or he's just not gonna this. And then I say, God, let's get to work. And then when we get to work, and then God give me like the results or give me the abilities, and I'll open my mouth and say to my, it will be like, oh, I don't think, baby, I don't think you can do this. I'm like, don't worry, I already done it.
It's that I can't again, isn't it? I can't.
Yeah,
And it's just,
so you
it's
can,
recognizing, it's hearing yourself say it because it's so subtle. It's just there.
yeah,
And a lot of people don't realize that it's there. It just becomes so inherent in them. I can't do this and I can't do that. And it was something I heard myself saying when I was in hospital and attempting to do things again. the first time, like, being able to sit up in bed or sit on the side, being able to stand and walk. And I kept hearing myself going, I can't. And it's like, stop it. Yes, you can, pull yourself together and realize that. And there was one nurse in particular who, in the beginning, like, she was, a couple of us, we called her Bossy, little Miss Bossy, because she was saying, yeah, you can do this, and it took me a while to realize that she was doing it for her own good. It wasn't just she was doing it just to be bossy in that. And I really came to love the way she got us to do things that we couldn't, because she was helping us in our healing to get better. It wasn't her job to keep us there in hospital, and just keep doing things for us. It was encouraging us to get moving. I mean, a simple thing like being able to, a lot of people don't take they take it for granted. You just turn over on your side. You're laying on your back in your bed, you just turn one side to another. I couldn't do that when I first came round in ICU. And for a long while, I could not move myself and roll. And so I had to get nurses to help me. And then eventually I found that, and if I sort of slipped down the bed, because you have a bed that can sit you up, so you end up sliding down it, and I couldn't lift myself up, so they would lay the bed down and they would pull the sheet back up, so it would pull me up. But then it got to a point where, they would say, well, come on, you can, you have a go. And I found myself being able to shuffle myself up the bed, and it's like, oh yes, I got some movement. Little things like that we take for granted, we don't realize. And then eventually, I was able to start moving more, and it comes. There's muscle memory. There's memory there, and your body remembers. But it is keeping going and going. Yes, I can do this. I can, however hard it is. But having that person keeping you going and saying, yeah, come on, you can do this. Something else you said about confusion. If you're confused, confusion is the gateway to learning. So as well as asking for that confusion to clear, ask for the learning, for them to get the learning that confusion is the gateway towards, because it's all very well taking away something from them, people, but have they learnt what it's there for? So it's really important to know learn the lessons as they're presented, because if we don't, they just come back bigger and bigger and stronger each time. And I don't know if people have heard about, is it feather, brick, truck? So first of all, the lesson comes just like a feather, just tickles you and you ignore it. The lesson comes again in the form of like a brick and hit you, but not, it hits you, but it's not too bad. And you ignore it. And then it's like a truck that just gets dumped on you and you went, oh God, why is this happening? It's like, oh my God, this is because you haven't learned the lesson in the beginning. So attempt to learn the lesson when it comes as a little feather and just tickles you. The confusion is there. It's like, okay, there's a lesson here. What can I learn? What can I have a breakthrough in? So
I like that say, Kiro. Yeah.
Feather brick
Love
truck.
it.
I know, it's gorgeous, isn't it? So just to sort of round up, it's about passion. What are you passionate about? Because that helps. And there's a great quote here that I like to give people. It's by Yo-Yo Ma. Passion is one great force that unleashes creativity. Because if you're passionate about something, then you're more willing to take risks. So just think about that. When you're passionate about something, are you more willing to do something to get it gets you going, and you're happy to take that risk to explore? So we're back to exploring, taking risks, but passionate. So make sure it's something you're passionate about. And if you're not, so like me with chess, I'm not passionate about it, but I know there's something for me to find there. So I'm working on finding the passion in chess, because I see it in some of the players there. They're, they're really passionate about it. They love it. You can see it in the way they're talking about it. And it's the same with people's writing. You know, people have said to me, oh, I really love writing, and they're passionate about it. And I'm going, oh, really? I wish I had that passion. And so it's something I'm exploring, because passion does give you the motivation. And I love mahjong. I just love playing mahjong. So I'm motivated already. I'm passionate about it. I'm there, you know. So, yeah. What are you passionate about? What could you do? What could you learn? Something new? What new avenues could you explore? So get curious. Okay, so that's different ways of how you can nourish and encourage creativity.
And also, if you have children as well, encourage them to be something. I've seen parents sometimes they say to their kids, my child is not capable of this, is not capable of that. Never say that to a child, because you don't know what they are capable of. I've seen the example of my children where I say to God, I want to have control over the situation, but can you please, their abilities, show them their abilities, and they end up doing things that the unthinkable. So they do things that they don't think themselves they can do it, and I'll pray about something, and they'll come home and say, I mean, you cannot believe this. This is happening. And I'm like, what? Yes, I just found out I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. I'm like, God, thank you. In secret, I just say, thank you, God. And also I tell them, remember you are who you are because God is with you. So I don't want them to think they can do things by themselves. And also having the courage to become the person that you want to do by leading by example and setting challenging goals, set challenging goals and going for it. And also when things get tough, challenges are presented to you to bring the best in you. Before I honestly, Carol, and I thought I would be like, oh, again, the problems again. But what I'm realizing, that is sometimes is a way of him saying there's more of you. You are not what you think you are. There's more. And then the more I want that more, the more my abilities come out, the more I become the person that I want to become. I don't just come here to go see talk shows every day. Sometimes I get people on LinkedIn saying, no, so where do you get the energy to do it every day? They want some tips. And I say to myself, when they ask me that question, I say, I don't do it on my own. Because God is always there to give me that push, that challenge. I just do it because I just love it. I love just coming here for 1 hour and then leave. So just find something like what Carol Ann is saying that you're passionate about. And also keep going deep about your abilities. Try fasting if you've never fasted for God. Cleanse yourself. And when you cleanse yourself and surround yourself with the right people, have some me time, the creative time where you think. And also when the opportunities are presented to you, don't judge anyone. Because when you fast for God, there's no time to judge, guys. Because God will bring somebody you would not expect that will bring a solution to your life as an angel and play something. So when you go that path, don't judge anyone. Or if you decide you want to cleanse yourself, just do it. But I have this mindset of whatever my life will be, I'm ready for it. If I'm sitting in front of the computer like Lucifer winding me up and saying I can build a Facebook or something like Facebook, if the angel of God says, no, sir, we got to go, we're doing this now, I got to do it. I just do it. Because even no matter how scared sometimes it is, I got to do it.
Absolutely.
So
you've got to do
yeah,
it. Yeah.
you just have to have that belief, that courage. Some people think you have to have a title in order to become who you want to become. No, you don't. Is that thing, that giant is inside. Everything you need is inside of you. Whether you come from which background is inside, is in there. I've heard people saying, sometimes I say I'm doing this, they're like, no, sir. The people tried, but they didn't do it. Why do you think you can do it? Me, I just close my eyes and say, God, I know you're with me. Let's do this. I know I'm not alone. That's 100% that part. I know I'm not alone. And also the people that I'm surrounded. One day when I have a chance, I will put it, I have 4 pastors that sometimes Lucifer comes and say, you're following these pastors that are already mad. I don't think you're going to be normal. And they will be like, you are already mad. And these people, they're not helping either. Because they are motivating me, showing me that I can be who I want to be. That requires hard work. It requires beliefs. You got to believe it. So I just believe what I can do. And I will just pray like I'm opening rams. I said, God, I need to learn to open rams. I'm opening rams, but Pastor James yesterday, his revelation about 1,000 abilities. I want to try it, guys, and give me, like, honestly, end of the year, we're going to go back to this video and I'm going to tell you guys who I have become. And honestly, who I have become. So I'm just going to learn these abilities.
That's the key, is it's who you become on the journey.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might not achieve what it was you set out to do, but it's who you become.
Yeah.
And then something else opens up. And, so is there, I'm just looking at the time and realizing.
Yeah, we're going to go. Guys, please do go to our website, Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency. A new website is coming on the way. Apparently, is going to be ready. They said is ready to go live yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a message yesterday. They said it's ready to go live, but it's not going to be the same like this website. It's just going to be a simple website by drives traffic. Yeah. Cool. So apparently it's going to be ready very, very soon. It's ready soon. They're just doing some touch-ups and things to actually make sure. So I'm excited. I'm actually excited to see the module that Sai has created, because it means I did not have to lift a finger in it. And that is part of my prayer, guys. Like, in my life, when I woke up one day, not finding the website, my website, I could have simply cried. But I said to God, I don't know where I'm going, but I trust you. And then I showed him my brokenness, and I was like, I'm broken, but I don't know where I'm going. But then I find myself doing all these things, like following these coaches, but I just followed Sai, and I ended up with the coaching. Now I go and sit there. Some people are paying for the coaching, but I did not pay for the coaching. God made that happen for me. It's because, like I said to you guys, sometimes I sit on this chair that I'm sitting on, and I will sit and I'll go quiet, and I will just go mad with God and say, God, I don't know where my life is going. I say it out loud. I don't want to lie to you guys. I don't know where my life is going, but I just don't know what I need to be doing, because this thing has gone wrong. And then Daddy will go quiet. He doesn't respond to me. He just goes quiet. And I'm like, okay. When he goes quiet, when he does the work, it's the opportunity that comes, like maybe I will be cooking, and then something will say, go to your email. I check my email and I'll be like, oh, this is happening. Then I will leave the cooking and go in that moment. So you have to listen and do. And then if I'm cooking, and then something will say, check your email, Nomsa, right now. And then I'll check my email and I'll be like, oh, this person is doing the event. And then I'll go there. That thing that I'm crying, that I say I'm lost, I've lost it, I end up with it in my hands. So that's how God has been doing things, because I stopped talking before I'll pick up the phone and talk to friends. I don't do that no more. I don't do that no more. The crying, the complain. I don't complain no more. That started, I think, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
That's powerful. Stop complaining.
Yeah, I stopped complaining.
That's
I just say whatever will be.
Yeah. And then it's just like,
let's just get on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we need to wrap up here. So I'm really aware of time.
Yeah, let's go, Carol Ann.
Yeah.
So guys, please do go to YouTube as well, subscribe, and go to Gossip Talk Show's Facebook and subscribe. You're following me on LinkedIn, guys. Please continue following us on LinkedIn. And if you have a topic that you have in mind and you like us to cover, please do send us a message and choose that topic. We'll cover that topic. Stay blessed. See you tomorrow.